We're going to talk about microcore for race walking today. These are sessions to develop the stabilizing muscles for the hips and the drive muscles in the lower back and butt that are used in race walking. Microcore is an idea where you do sessions of 5 to 7 minutes, once, twice, maybe as many as 3 times in a day. We're trying to maximize gene expression and to increase muscle endurance rather than to generate absolute muscle strength. We're not trying to learn to be able to do a sit-up and throw a medicine ball half the length of a basketball court. We're learning to be able to stabilize our hips against the forces in race walking, even when we're at 3 or 4 hours into a 50-kilometer race, for example. The first exercise in the series, we will start in what's called tabletop position. If you'll bring your legs up, please. The thighs are vertical, the lower leg is parallel to the floor. The back is in a natural position. The hands are positioned so that they're on the abdominals and can feel the muscles to make sure they're working, and are touching the hip bones so you can feel if your hips are stable as this exercise is done. This will be done by lowering a heel to the floor, just touching, and bringing it back up. During this action, she's checking that her abdominal muscles are contracted and that her hips are not moving. Keep going, please. During this, she is trying to generate a firm base with her hips so they don't move, while her legs are operating, touching the ground lightly. Okay. The next exercise in the series, the same starting position, tabletop please, hands on abs, fingers on hips, and we're going to allow a knee to drop out to the side, and she is then catching it. So it's allowed to fall and catch. Fall and catch. So she is using her abdominal strength to stabilize the hips against the weight of her leg falling sideways. Make sure you keep 90 degrees on those legs. Good. The next exercise in the series, cross your ankles please, we're going to roll the lower back off the floor. Roll up and hold a moment and down. Hold, back up, hold, back down. She's just rolling until her lower back starts to come off the floor. She then holds it for a moment. We don't do this for absolute speed, we're doing it for strength and stability. The next exercise in the series, put your feet on the floor, knees slightly bent, hands behind the head. We're going to exercise the upper abdominals. If you'll roll up please. She rolls up until her lower back starts to come off the floor and down. She rolls up and holds for a moment and down. And repeat. Now you might do 10 or 20 of each one of these exercises. Okay. The next exercise, if you'll come up into tabletop position with your legs please, and cross your ankles, hands behind the head. She's now going to sit up in a crunch and bring an elbow to the inside of a knee. The elbow and knee are both moved towards one another. She brings them up, she touches and holds for a moment and goes back down to starting position. Okay. Bring the knee up as well, that's it. So we get a complete twisting motion from point to point. Okay. The next exercise, from the same position, she is going to draw her elbow to the outside of the knee and back down. And you can see she contracts the oblique muscles down the sides of her body in the abdominal area to draw the knee and elbow closer together. And the other one. Good. And you can do 5 of these, 10 of these, however many, depending on your level of fitness. You can now put your feet down on the floor a little further from you. Hands are going to rest by her sides for stability. And she's going to go up into a bridge position. Up into a bridge. Good. From the bridge position, she is going to extend one leg so that her thighs are parallel. This is similar to the position when your heel hits the floor with a straight leg. We're not putting the leg way up in front. Lowers the whole body down using the butt muscles on this side, and the body and leg as a unit go down and just touch the floor and are then pushed back up using the drive muscles in her butt and lower back. If you'll reverse legs please so it can be seen from the other position. Down and drive, and drive. So the entire body from here to here is operating as a unit. Good. Okay, next one is a straight leg lift. She's sitting up, she's going to put one leg with a heel on the floor in a straight position. The other foot is lifted off the floor and the knee is bent. And she's now going to drive upwards with her hips, keeping that supporting leg straight. Push up, down. She drops down until her butt just touches the floor, but she doesn't rest her weight on the floor. If you first try to do this exercise and find it difficult, you may only be able to do 1 or 2 repetitions. Try to build gradually towards managing at least 20 repetitions of this. It's important to do this with a straight leg. Because of specificity, we're trying to replicate the muscle actions used in race walking. Good. Now we're going to go over into a 6-point plank. She's going to rest on her forearms, her elbows and her toes. Into a plank, please. And rather than just staying in a constant position, being stationary, which doesn't represent what happens during a race walking event, she's going to move. For example, she's going to rock backwards and forwards on her toes. Or she can move around in a circle using her upper body strength to move her around in a circle. Again, she's maintaining strength in the core area for stability during the walking motion and using the limbs, her feet, her arms around that strong core. Good. And if you'll just walk it up into a hamstring stretch, she's just going to come out of the core routine, a gentle stretch of the hamstrings. Just stay there for a moment, feel everything relax. Deep breath, stand up.